Watch the moment Lance Stroll's quick-thinking engineer prevented a potentially dangerous collision with the stricken Mercedes of George Russell during the Australian Grand Prix. Aston Martin will not appeal Fernando Alonso's penalty at the Australian Grand Prix after the Spaniard was deemed to drive in a potentially dangerous manner in front of George Russell. Alonso was handed a 20-second time penalty for the way in which he approached turn 6 on the penultimate lap of the race, dropping him from 6th to 8th in the final classification, a decision issued by stewards more than 3 hours after the end of the race. Following the post-race investigation, which included the study of data, replays and interviews with both drivers, stewards said telemetry from Alonso's car showed that the Aston Martin had lifted slightly more than 100 meters earlier than he ever had going into turn 6 on the penultimate lap of the race as Russell chased him down. Alonso claimed that he was simply trying to ensure a better exit from the upcoming corner, with Russell applying heavy pressure as the pair approached the doctor's zones in which the Mercedes driver, on fresher tyres, would likely have had his best chance of overtaking. Aston Martin had the right to appeal but have decided to not do so, 2 days after the race. To receive a 20-second time penalty when there was no contact with the following car has been a bitter pill to swallow, but we have to accept the decision, said Aston Martin team principal Mike Crack. We made our best case but without new evidence we are unable to request a right of review. Alonso says he was surprised by the penalty and took to social media after the race to give examples of battles he's had since his F1 career began in 2001, where he took different racing lines and speeds into corners to attack and defend. He pointed out his duels with Michael Schumacher at Imola in 2005 and 2006, plus his battle against Sergio Perez in Brazil as examples. Russell's accident turned Mercedes' bad weekend into a nightmare as they failed to score points for the first time since the 2021 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The British driver called for a red flag several times but only a virtual safety car was deployed on the last lap of the race. Crack reiterated Russell's safety was the first thought on Aston Martin's mind, before reiterating Alonso was using his experience to defend against the Mercedes driver. In motorsport, everyone is relieved that George was okay and walked away after his accident, Crack wrote. I want you to know that we fully support Fernando, he is the most experienced driver in Formula One history. He has competed in more Grands Prix than anyone else and has more than 20 years of experience. He is a multiple world champion in multiple categories. Fernando is a phenomenal racer and he was using every tool in his toolbox to finish ahead of George, just like we saw in Brazil last year with Sergio Perez.